Great day, everyone. So, today we are going to talk all about the indicators of cognitive, and here is indicator of curriculum guide. So, um, let's start with the introduction. So, the introduction is it examined the expected learning outcomes of the enhanced basic education program, a significant component of which is the K-12 curriculum. So we already know what is the K-12 curriculum. The K-12 curriculum has 13 years of education or basic education. And sa kanang K-12 curriculum, ga-enhance sila sa basic education program. And let's tackle more. The rationality of the program anchors on the ultimate development of empowered individuals who are responsible and who live productive lives. So, the rationality of the program, it focuses or the ultimate development of the empowered individuals. So, those people who the rationality of the program. So, it tackles more about those people who have an empowered individuals or has a productive lives. Ang mostly mga nigama sa mga curriculum or gibasan and the goal of the K-12 curriculum is to focus on the development of these cognitive skills. So we already know what is cognitive skills. It tackles about the mind. Now the K-12 is all about the K-12 is the centerpiece of the legislation, the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, otherwise known as the RA 10533, the K-12 curriculum. So, the K-12 curriculum is not just kanang nasa mga daplin-daplin yung education. No, it is a law that stated dire sa RA 1053, the K-12 curriculum or the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. And the K-12 curriculum is one of the many components and a very important one of the total package of the education reform. It must be borne in mind that there are other components too, like the administrators, orientations, faculty or teachers training, physical facilities, and instructional materials all serve as a support mechanism for the implementation of the K-12 curriculum. So the K-12 curriculum already has a components, but there are other more components too, like the teacher. How will the K-12 curriculum succeed if there are no teachers, if there are no facilities, if there are no administrators orientations for the teachers to know what to teach or what is in the K-12 curriculum? The physical facilities, yes, again, the instructional materials. We already know how important instructional material is how important instructional material to a teacher. So, the K-12 curriculum, again, I said it earlier, that it has 13 years. So, the first year was for the kindergarten. For the kindergarten, it has a 1 year, and the elementary years are grades 1 to 6. The junior high schools are grades 7 to 10, and the senior high grade 11 and grade 12. So, as we all know, niagi na jutani, and we all know mga pagsulay nga naapta na to. But let's tackle more about the development. The Department of Education prescribed a curriculum template to serve as a guide to all teachers teaching in public and private schools in the country. So, the K-12 curriculum is a template that serves as a guide for all the teachers that are teaching not just only in public schools but also in private schools in the Philippines or in our country. The templates define the spiral progressions in the different courses content, the content standards and the performance standard, learning competencies as well as the codes, starting from the kindergarten level up to up to grade 12. So the spiral progression, I know that we already tackled what is the spiral progression by the last mga topics nato sa kaning subject. And the spiral progression, again, it starts with just a little circle and then more and then bigger and then bigger. So it starts with the kindergarten level. So the very basic, and then the more years or more grade levels are added, that lesson, we will talk, for example, we're going in the kindergarten there, the alphabets are introduced. So in the kindergarten and then in grade 1, the students are encouraged to read and have the sounds of the letter, and then the grade 2, you know how to read kanang bigger words, or yes, and more and more and more. And now teachers are encouraged to implement this in the content of their given situations, considering availabilities of any of the resources, materials, and support systems. So since K-12 curriculum is a template that serves as a guide to all the teachers in the public and private schools in the country, they are also encouraged to implement this in the context of their given situations, considering availability of any of the resources, materials, and support systems. So teachers are encouraged to implement this spiral progression, since it will help us students, or it will help you teachers to know and to engage more in this, to engage more in teaching the students. So in the context of considering, the aim of the K-12 curriculum is to develop empowered individuals who have learned through a program that is rooted on a sound education principles geared towards excellence. The foundations for learning throughout life, the competencies to engage in work and be productive, the ability to coexist in fruitful harmony with local and global communities, the capability to engage in critical autonomous thinking, and the capacity to transform others and oneself. So K-12 curriculum it also serves not just a guide for the teachers, but also it has an aim or has a goal, and that is to develop empowered individuals who have learned through the program, the K-12 program, that is rooted on a sound education principles geared toward excellence. So kahibaw ako nakadungog mo kanang ang K-12 is for karon nga makabalance ta sa global nga mga education, since ang other countries are having this kind of education, the K-12, but lahi ang ilang the way sila motulord, the way ang ilang topic or unsa, and ang grade sa una is kutob rata sa grade 10, di ba? And since grade 10 to kanang mga professionals diri sa Pilipinas, kung mudong sila og laing country, they are not seen as a professional. So nakabantay ta nga kung diri sa Pilipinas teacher ka, nigabot nimo sa gawas kay ang imong education attainment is kanang dili para sa lang education attainment. So low jud ka, mahimo jud ka nga low. So kung teacher ka diri sa Pilipinas, nigabot nimo sa gawas, other or lahi na imong trabaho, pinay domestic helper or other. But the K-12 curriculum is helping us to have a fruitful harmony, not just with local, but with global communities. Or, mo ni sa katong kang Sir Ariel nga gitakol, nga to have the global, to compete with the global educations. So, now let's go with the other topic. The vision is grounded in human development to complete development of the individual. So again, kanang K-12 curriculum is the goal is to develop kanang empowered individuals who have learned through a program that is rooted on a sound education principles geared toward excellence. the goals of the K-12 is in fact, oh yes, high thinking, effective skills, or fusion. So now let's go with the learning point and cognitive, metacognitive skills in learning objectives. The learning point of the cognitive and metacognitive skills in learning. Since we are going to tackle indicators of the cognitive and metacognitive studies in the K-12 curriculum guide. So, what is the learning point of cognitive and metacognitive skills? Well, again, cognitive, it tackles about the thinking of mind, and the metacognitive is about thinking about thinking. So the learning materials looks into the K-12 curriculum to determine if there are indicators that skills of cognitions and metacognition are developed and considered in the teaching learning process. So the K-12 curriculum, we should to determine if there are indicators that the skills of cognition or the skills of mind and the skills of metacognition, the thinking about thinking, are developed and considered in the teaching learning process. The test of cognitive and metacognitive development is seen in the process and outcomes. Another test is to analyze the expected learning competencies to be developed. The set of learning competencies serve as guide for the teachers as to what directions take in teaching, particularly methodologies that will help achieve such competencies. So the test of is seen in the process. The test of cognitive and metacognitive development is seen in the process and outcomes. So kanang nakabantay ta sa ato mga kanang back when we are in grade years or junior high school years or in senior high years, or even elementary years, there are types of cognitive development that we seen in the process, and not just cognitive but also metacognitive. The metacognitive is mao na nga kanang kaybaw ka sa skills and kaybaw sad ka unsaon nimo paggamit ang imuha nga skills in that particular aspect. And ma-test na to kung naabay cognitive and metacognitive nga na-develop in the curriculum, makita siya sa process, not just the process but also the outcomes, kung ang bata naaba siya'y kanang na-learn, naaba siya'y na-apply sa iyang mga na-learn, and yun sa niya pag-apply sa ang iyang mga na-learn. The set of learning competencies serve as a guide. So again, the learning competencies to the K-12 serves only as a guide for the teachers as to what directions in teaching, particularly on methodology, that will help achieve such competencies. So it is a guide for the teacher on what to teach, and dili aron nga kanang ang teacher dili magpataka-taka og tudlo og bisag unsa. So alangan man pod og kanang pasagdaan ra ang teacher kung unsa iyang itudlo alangag math, and ang imong gihandolan is grade 7 and nang calculus na dayon ka. So dili siya pwede siya sa mga kanang mga gifted persons or sa mga special kids nga kanang may talent or may gift, but sa uban is dili pwede. So the K-12 is the important kanang part of teaching, kay mao ni naghatag og guide sa mga teachers kung unsay tudlo aron nga ang bata na siya'y kanang dili bitaw bisag unsa, dili random ang iyang mahakatunan, kun dili kanang step by step na siya. So next is to analyze the K-12 curriculum. The expected learning competencies will be looked into, where such competencies can be classified as cognitive and metacognitive in nature. So to analyze the K-12, the expected learning competencies will be looked into. So ang mga expected learning competencies during magamata og kanang lesson plan, di ba naman tayo mga expected na naman tayo mga objectives and which kanang nag-expecta nga kani makatunan ni sa mga bata, and that will be looked into where such competencies can be classified as cognitive or metacognitive in nature. As previously discussed, cognition refers to skills required for daily living like comprehension, memory, perceiving, and similar skills. So, motto, the cognition is about mind, about like daily living, like comprehension, memory, perceiving, and similar skills. But the metacognition refers to knowledge that people have about their cognitive processes and the deliberate use of these cognitive processes to improve learning. So, how will you use those skills? Ngayon na siya ang metacognitive. So, that would be all, and Miss Hussain will going to tackle more about the Miss Hussain will tackle about the examples of the kanang test kung kanang naabot yung tinud-anay nga cognition ug metacognition ang K-12 curriculum. So, mahatag siya mga examples, and thank you for listening. God bless us all. Bye!